The plot for Kaoru Hana moving to Saku, it's where in somewhere in Japan there's like a very good school where it's like a private school and people go there, and there's right beside that school there's a terrible school that where like the worst students always all go there. I don't really know how does that work. So that's like the fancy school really hates the poor school, and then there's like always a barrier between them, like how the curtains between the fancy school, which is called Kiku by the way, there's that wall and the curtains are always closed, and then they never get in touch with each other even though they are next to each other. And then there's our main character where his family where his family opens a cake shop, and then there's another girl called Karuko, not another, just like that girl, Karuko, which often, no actually, like comes here 1 to 2 months to the place to eat cake here, and then they interacted with each other, and then it's just their romance story onwards. With this type of setting, I was like expecting like a dramatic with that setting, because like how between the two schools, like the Romeo and Juliet, boarding school Juliet, like that type of manga where two schools often fight off each other. But no, this one isn't much fighting. It's pretty wholesome, like throughout the whole thing, which is quite unique. Not something I do expect, and it's like really like heartwarming to see those two. We never get to know like other people in this group until like very later on in the story. It's mainly just his friend group and her friend group. Even if her friend group is still like introduced way later on, which is really good since you have a nice time to like learn and digest all the characters. The characters in this manga, it's all not hateable characters. They are all like very unique. Not that unique, it's like still you can like find like that type of personality in other mangas, but they have their own like special thing to it that doesn't make you hate them. Like that's like up to this point I read, there's not even like a single character that I actually hate, like deep down, that that like actually makes me want to stop reading, but none of them are. So that's a good thing, since it makes the whole story really smooth to read, but it doesn't make it boring to read. It still gives me that type of like adrenaline rush that makes me want to keep reading, just because how good the characters are. And I think the author did a very good job on developing the characters. Like later on, like you can like know the characters. They gave each character like a very good time to like for you to know them before introducing new characters, and I think that is a really good thing. The art style for this manga is just simply very beautiful. All the lines are very good, well drawn, and the characters are like really detailed, which is very good to read. But however, there isn't like much more detail in the sceneries. It's pretty plain, but it's not like there's none, which as you can see like in the background. But yeah, so if you are more into that landscape type of thing, then this manga probably won't be that good for you, since I barely see any up to this point. Like literally pretty much all of them have characters, and sometimes the art style changes and like the characters seem different. That I think that is like a early on like chapters exclusive thing. Like later on you don't really see much like art style changes, but on the first chapter there's plenty. But the art style on the first chapter and early chapters are like quite different from the later ones, especially Kaoru, which is the main female character. But there isn't like that much change, so yeah. Overall, I feel like this manga is very enjoyable to read, probably because of how not annoying the characters are, and how it isn't very wordy, so it's like you can like scroll quite fast and still like read the whole thing, which is really good since, yeah. Overall, if you really enjoy reading romance mangas, then this manga is definitely for you. It is by far the most wholesome manga I've ever read, but they do apologize a bit too much later on, but that is like very minor issue and you can ignore that.